You're going to be watching a video about a client and his therapist speaking about how this therapist interprets the Therapeutic Drawing Series, how it helps the client to become more accurate with reasoning and planning and overall thinking abilities, and therefore becomes more self-confident. So the reasoning and planning go a long way towards self-confidence in regenerating the person's thinking ability or top-down functioning.
For me to start off
Yeah.
it divides the paper into 4 quadrants, and then I'm going to start systematically with the 1 quadrant first, and I finish the one and then the other one.
Okay.
And I take it forward.
Okay, so that's how your strategy for working out the planning of this.
Definitely. I would start on the right side with the blue.
Okay.
The bigger, stronger shape.
Yeah. And that's going to help.
It's a pertinent shape.
Yeah.
In the right-hand corner.
Okay. And that'll help anchor all the other pieces as well.
All the other ones as well.
Okay.
But secondly, I'll go to the left of the page and draw the rectangle with the square.
Yeah.
I'll draw that one first because those 2 are the strongest shapes in the picture.
Okay, good idea.
Okay, of course I can draw the purple line or the circular shape from that.
Okay, great.
Yeah, and the dots, 3 dots on the right hand corner, and the square in the left hand corner, I'll do afterwards, last.
Right, fantastic. Yeah, because it's easier to work from the bigger shapes down to the smaller ones, isn't it?
Definitely, yeah.
Yeah, because the others anchor it.
The anchoring give me a basis to work from.
Okay, so you just corrected on that rectangle.
Yeah.
Okay, why did you correct it?
So I made it a bit too narrow.
Okay.
Okay, now I can, because I see the whole thing, the whole rectangle is blue, so I can just adjust it.
Yeah.
It wouldn't show.
Oh, cool! Great! Now previously, if I think back to when we started out, I mean, you would never dream of doing that on your own.
Never.
Initiative.
Yeah.
So one of the things that I've found in the past year that we've been working is that you're very much more confident in using your own initiative and not worrying about doing something wrong.
Yeah, definitely. And I've seen as well, if you make a mistake, it's not the end of the world. Maybe it's just not the way you would like it to be.
Okay.
But it is perfect. Everyone's life is perfect because every human being is unique.
Exactly.
Every human being is unique. So.
Yeah.
And now I think, or I act and behave in a totally different way, on a different manner than I did previously.
Yeah.
And so that brings out a new person, a new me. In other words, and I very much like helping other people, and because I know I help them from my experience.
Yeah.
I can give them a lot of advice of what I can't believe the way I was. Because they said the prognosis they gave me was he's going to be spastic because he has he's damage on his brain all over. Spasticity is going to be his future. And then the doctor told my mom, I always say if that happens to one of my loved ones, I would rather want to die. And then that's the way, the message with which he left her, with what he left her. And then she just decided, no, he started fighting. I went with her.
I don't think you had much choice with that mother of yours.
Nothing else. We're stimulated, or has been stimulated. And they were stimulated, and so I have another way of thinking.
Okay.
And I have different concepts of certain stuff. Very different to the way I thought of previously.
Yeah.
So if I had a problem, I thought, oh, this is the end of the world. What's going to happen now? Now, I see there's so many other ways. It's not the end of the world. I can just do this to rectify the situation. This or that.
Yeah, so it's helped with problem solving.
Definitely.
Problem solving. And here we have the picture that you've completed. And it's so incredibly good. Well done.
Dion was not being creative at all. It was foreign to him to be creative. If he had to do anything in that line, it was very skimpy. And I thought the abstract thinking was also very important. Now, he could talk about his injury, that he'd had an injury, and what had happened, but he did not have the insight that he has lately. He didn't have all that insight into his life, or his situation, or his surroundings. He's much more aware of his surroundings. The two kind of go parallel to each other. Insight into his own situation and insight into his surroundings. He would all of a sudden became aware of, if we drove in the car, he would say to me, have you seen the bark of that tree that we just passed? And that tree, did you see it? And then he would say, and those mountains there, far behind us, did you see the colours? And that wasn't Dion before. He would just sit in the car and be quiet and stare. That was it. He wasn't aware. So as he gradually became more aware of himself, he became aware of what's going on around him, and further than just 5 meters. Much when his brother, who is a medical doctor and was working in the UK, came out for holiday and bought himself a golf bag and golf clubs, but those had to go back with him on the plane. So he was afraid the golf clubs would fall out, and he started tying them together, but with the club part sticking out. Now Dion was sitting there quietly watching his brother, what he was doing, and he said, dryly, he said, "No, Jon, that's not going to work like that. They're going to fall around and fall out. You have to turn those golf clubs around." His brother looked at him and said, "I don't think they'll fit in there." He said, "They will fit." So the brother turned them around and they fitted, and it was much easier for him to tie the ends together than the clubs. Art wasn't part of him. And being creative wasn't part of Dion. And all of a sudden that has changed. And he's very appreciative now of everything. It's just as if his eyes have opened all of a sudden. He sees.
Jenny, you've just told me that you think in the last little while that Dion's memory has definitely improved. Can you tell us why you think that?
Yes, it's definitely improved. Before, Dion's memory and his forgetting was the main issue. It was the big thing. He would phone me like sometimes 4 or 5 times and ask the same question from where he's living. Lately, we don't talk or discuss Dion's memory problem anymore. And it's not just because we learn to live with it. It is not an everyday obstacle and hassle anymore. I truly feel, if I can describe it, that Dion has woken up even more than just after being unconscious. He's woken up to life and everyday living.